Lord of Omens, give me sight beyond sight. Beyond sight. Beyond sight.
Go broke. Let's go, because we already broke, so we ain't got nothing else to go for. It is me. You already know your boy Andrew. We here with the co-host Nick and Marissa again as well. You know, for what we call it, the search for horror.
In search of horror.
Insert. You gotta remember the end. Yeah, I know. He's gonna try to sue me like the Joe Button shit, but we're gonna get there.
We're gonna get there later. Yeah.
I put in and he said search. But yeah, we're here. We're ready to talk about another horror movie. It was called Knock Knock or whatever the fuck it was called.
Actually, no, it's called. they
come knocking.
They come knocking. A Hulu original.
Yeah, honestly, that sounds like a rap song.
It probably
I
is.
killed 12. They came knocking on.
Oh shit.
But nah, we here. We about to talk about this movie. You already know the situation, how we do the breakdown. So we're not gonna be long-winded about it. So we're just gonna swing it to the original breakdown. MC Marissa, let's go.
Yeah,
All
break
right,
it down.
so basically it starts off where a mom has cancer and she passed away, and the dad is trying to bring the girls, his two daughters, together and go on a family camping trip. They have like one of those big silver campers hooked up to their big pickup truck, and they're driving to I guess what they reveal to be basically the first vacation that the husband and wife had together. And you see the younger daughter, who's probably like, I don't know, like 10, 11 maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
And
She
then
looks like little mini Anakin from the trilogies.
Yes, but with freckles. And then the older daughter, who's obviously a teenager and a huge cunt in half. And she's angry at her dad for whatever reason. I guess it reveals later that the dad had to pull the plug because the mom had cancer.
Yes.
And it can't cope with it. So they show the whole dynamic of them. The daughter is still very a daddy's girl, but the older girl is kind of like, leave me alone. I don't want to be here. This sucks, blah, blah, blah. So they pull up to a campsite in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere. And the dad is just trying to do something special with his two girls. And the two of them keep fighting, and they're just being obnoxious.
Little bitches.
Yeah. But, you know, that's what they
do. A lot
of
aggression there.
Yeah. So while they were filling up for gas on the way to this campsite, the older girl sees someone in like a black hoodie and black pants just staring at them in the diner. Like she's outside, and the face is kind of like hidden, so you can't really see, but you can see it's a little person. It's not like an adult or anything like that, but they blow it off. Then the first night at the campsite, they hear a knock on their camper door, and they see two young kids, and they ask for help, or they ask to come in.
Yeah.
And the older girl is like, of course you can't let them in. That's stupid. And the dad is like, what do you want? And it's like one of those weird situations. Like, okay, you see two young kids in the middle of nowhere at night by themselves.
Yeah.
So a normal person would be like,
what the fuck are these kids doing in the desert by themselves?
And why are you in the desert by yourselves? And then I come like, why does this guy not have any weapons?
Because he was going camping with his family, one.
But at least you have a knife because you're camping. You need a knife.
You might need a knife if you're going fishing or you're doing something.
No, just in general.
In general.
A pocket knife?
I mean, who says technically
to
he
stab
didn't have
a coyote?
Who said he didn't have a knife though?
Because he never used it.
He never pulled it.
Oh, because he never pulled one. You assume.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just not violent like that.
He's just not violent.
So anyway, so then the kids go away.
Now everybody want to kill people.
So the kids go away uneventful. They all go to sleep. They make sure everything's locked up, yada yada. So the next day, he goes out to the truck, and it's revealed that they and I know about cars, okay? They lifted the hood, and all I saw was random shit like cut open. And I'm like, what? It was like
Yeah.
it was like a random hose. I was like, what did they do? Did they explode the inside of this
They
car? It
basically
made no
what
sense.
they did was they took the
I think they
the
just-
hose for the basically what will go to the
The
AC.
exhaust,
yeah.
yeah.
And
But
all
what
of
I'm
that.
saying is, it just looked like somebody who doesn't know anything about cars were like, hey, let's stick a hose up right here
Mhm.
and wires out through here, and it'll look like everything's jacked up.
Yeah.
That's what it really looked like. So the dad decides, I'm going to go walk off and try to find signal because, you know, they're camping. So there's no Wi-Fi. There's no cell phone signal. So he tells his older daughter to watch the younger daughter. And of course, she's being a bitch about it. But he gives her a walkie so that they can keep in touch. So he starts walking off. And of course, the walkies don't work because otherwise you wouldn't have a hard walk.
Yeah. And
The
he's-
dad walks off and sees like what looks kind of like an abandoned trailer, but he goes to check it out to see
Yeah.
if anybody's there. And he sees some weird things and some water bottles kind of like lined up outside. So he goes in and he's searching around and he sees a lot of weird stuff. He sees like kids' drawings, he sees a backpack, he sees all this stuff, and then all of a sudden he sees a dude in the corner with like a rifle, and and like scissors in his other hand. So it looked like he shot the rifle twice because there was holes in the wall. It looks like he shot the rifle twice, ran out of bullets, and then just knifed himself to death.
He didn't know how to kill what it was,
Yeah.
basically.
So he
That's all
killed
it was.
himself.
Yeah.
So his dad's all freaked out. But throughout this whole thing, there's like keeps being like flashbacks to like the mom and like the whole cancer thing, or like, you know, like it just keeps going back and forth between like what's going on there and like the mom. And then the older daughter somehow loses track of the young kid and can't find her. So now she starts running out looking for her. And she starts to see what seems to be hallucinations of her mother, but not like pretty versions of her mom. It's like kind of
like after she died. from
after she
cancer.
died, kind of like she's been in the ground for a while, not
Mhm.
exactly decrepit, but her clothes are all fucked up. So she starts kind of seeing that here and there. And then she finds her way to a junkyard looking for the younger sister, goes into a, what do you call that thing?
Trailer, like one of those
RV.
containment trailers.
It's an RV
No,
trailer.
like a
No, the shipping containers.
shipping container, yes.
Oh,
And
I
she
feel
goes
like I
into
missed
the
that.
shipping container and the door shuts and she starts to see her mom in the corner, kind of crawling towards her. And she quickly realizes like something's not right. Like it's not like a good spirit. It's not like her mom coming to like take
Help.
care of her or whatever.
Yeah.
So she's trying to get out. She finally gets out, runs back to her camper. Her dad gets back and she tells I think she tells him at that point she can't find the sister. But
Yeah.
then the sister just magically shows up and was like, "Oh, I was looking for my doll," or some stupid shit like that. And the sister was like, "Here's your fucking doll," and throws it at her. And they go to bed.
Yeah.
Just go to sleep.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay. And then that night, you know, they're kind of talking. It's a very slow building story. By the time just to let you know how slow it is, by the time the dad sees the dead body, we're 45 minutes into the movie. So that's how slow this film is. And I think
Yeah.
it's only an hour and a half or something.
Yeah,
like that.
something like
So-
that.
It's
It
only an
wasn't-
hour and a half. It's
So it's very slow building, but I have to say that once it starts to pick up, which I'll get into, it starts to get a little bit better and we get a little bit more into it. But okay, so then that night, as they're like kind of playing together inside the camper, they hear little kids outside again. They look out and they see that there's a fire in the fire pit going. And then there's a gas can that's going from the fire pit to the trailer. So the dad runs out, tells the girls to lock themselves in. He runs out, very slowly puts out the fire with a shovel and some sand, you know, that because they're in the desert. So he's just like shoveling sand onto the fire. And then he turns around and there's one of those creepy little people with the hood. And I thought that it was like going to be some creepy little kids with masks on, but once it looks close up, that's actually their face. Like the lips move and it's just a really creepy kind of
Honestly, I
blank
still feel
image.
like I didn't see their lips move every time you said that
No,
to me.
their lips moved, but
it was very
it was
subtle. It was
technically it was a mask.
I think
but
it was just a
it made
mind
it-
fuck. I think it was just
In real
scaring you
life?
extra.
in
no.
real life it was a mask.
That's what I'm saying. like,
but in
the
the
movie, it's supposed to be a face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be, but the way that it moves, it's not natural.
I think it was
so
supposed to
kinda-
be a mask, but
No.
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 They were demons. Why
They
would
were
demons
yeah.
wear
they were
masks?
demons.
So anyway, so then he hits it with a shovel because that would be all of our reaction. Hit the fucking thing with a shovel.
Yes.
But then he
Donatello
does
style.
the dumb horror movie thing. The thing is on the ground crying. So he goes, "Oh shit, I think I hurt this fucking monster that's trying to kill
well, he
us."
still thinks it's a kid, but still.
I understand that, but so he goes to turn it around and it starts to attack him.
Okay,
And
gotta
of
be
course, he doesn't get up fast enough because, they never do.
Yeah. And he's
And-
just staring at it while 4 other little kid demon things pop up.
Yes.
See,
So he runs, instead of back into the trailer with his children, he runs into his truck. And
I can't, because all I keep thinking is like, so Marissa or Nick or whoever will literally, as they see the person laying there, and don't get me wrong, I would probably, I definitely would do it. I'm saying I would do it. I would make sure the sharp point is there,
yeah.
and that swing from the neck up is like, yo, my guy, I don't know what I'm hitting, but if I hit your neck and I cut your head off, you're lucky. But imagine if you hit like the face with it here, like,
Oh.
like pop, and they were like, oh, I was just trying to be nice.
It was a fucked up horror movie. Like, you're the killer now. Like, oh, I'm sorry, it's a kid.
Like, it's like a fucked up ass.
Pink.
And like everybody want, like we
well,
go
now I gotta
straight.
kill you and bury you. In the
Yeah,
desert.
like we go straight to killing.
Yeah.
And it goes right back to that Denzel movie, like the one, what was that shit that just came out?
Oh, the with what's his name? Jared Leto.
Yeah,
Yes.
where you killed the dude, and now look how he was going crazy trying to bury and find shit. Like it's crazy. Like yo,
But Jared Leto did do it.
the human mind is so fucked up. Like I love it. Like I just want to have
No,
a
it was
talk about
never-
human mind.
That was one of those movies, and we're going on a tangent, but that was one of those movies that you don't know if Jared Leto was the
But
you
no,
don't know if Jared Leto was the bad guy because
not positively, but it was just like he had all the stuff hidden in
No.
his thing.
no, you never saw any of that. You knew that he did something in the past
No,
that,
but he had
that Denzel's character could not prove, and Denzel was so
Okay.
hell bent on getting him, arrested
because
or
he thinks he was
whatever.
the guy from the past. But what I'm saying is that the movie gives you he did it. He got hard when
No, it never proved that he did it. It proved that he was a psychopath.
We're not-
It never proved that he did it.
okay, he's a psychopath that got hard when they showed him pictures of the dead woman.
Because he's a psychopath.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that he did it.
That he found the exits. He was at the exact same exits Denzel Washington was looking at, and then followed him around. He knew all the exits enough that he got off when Denzel was following him to get on again and
Yeah.
go on the
but,
opposite road.
we're-
Then
But we
wait,
could turn
wait,
around and say
wait,
like,
wait,
if you never
wait.
driven on a
But-
highway,
but he had the
you never did
box.
that. This
He
is the whole
had the
point of the
box.
podcast. It's for Andrew to disrupt shit. I'm here to fuck shit up for the rest of this year. I don't give a shit about a fucking.
And then he
formula,
had
none
the
of that.
box
I'm here to
of
fuck
all
shit
the
up.
All right, Joe
crimes,
Biden.
Yeah.
all the crimes even from the back in the day until recent. So there was enough clues. Like what the director did with that movie was good because they weren't spoon feeding. Like he did do it.
Maybe.
The whole concept was, oh my God, did he or did he not? But
That-
every
yeah, no,
single
that
fucking
was.
clue was there. He was fucking with the
But
cop
some-
saying,
but
oh
some
no,
of it
over
was
here.
planted.
Oh no, over here. Over like you could say, okay, he's a psychopath. Well, good. He killed a fucking psychopath and got him off the street because he was nuts.
Yeah.
How are you gonna you're in a
Justify.
situation where you're telling a
I
cop
like Nick's aggressive anger of dominance. Like I knew this is right. I don't
Okay,
care.
Can we get back to
I
the
agree.
show,
Okay,
please?
go ahead, go ahead.
Okay.
This
So-
is, the movie's already fucking over. Like,
All
can
right.
we-
So while this is okay, so now the dad's in the truck, the girls are in the trailer, and there's 5 little demon thingies, right? And now they all transform into versions of the mom, right?
Yeah,
So there's a version of the mom that's talking to the dad that basically says like,
you're a piece of shit.
"You're a piece of shit. You didn't do enough. You're not protecting these girls." Like blah blah blah. And then there's another version, like the scaly, gross version, haunting the older girl, but then they have a nice, like, I miss you version for the little girl. And this is where it gets kind of fucked up because I thought they were going to be vampires because they kept asking to be invited in.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, these are going to be vampires. These are sick little like children vampires that can kind of like.
And that would have made it really cool to be
Nah, it
honest.
would have
Yeah,
been,
it
but
would've
at the
been.
same time, if you really look at it, like a lot of demons, technically, the rule of thumb is some type of invitation. Like,
Invitation.
yeah,
Invite.
invite. I was making up a word. Yeah, that's a little bit of my
Invitation.
invitation to come in the aspect of.
I never
like,
knew that. I thought that was just a vampire thing.
No, it's not. It's like if
Well,
you really look
I-
at it, like from Ouija boards to everything.
If
like,
you think
it's
about
an
it,
opening of a gate to an opening
Yeah.
of a
Okay,
welcoming
I got
you,
concept.
I got you.
Yes.
So the older girl hears the younger girl talking and she realized, oh my God, like she's seeing mom too. And I need to like make her know that that's not her. So she very weakly smashes through. Now, if anybody's ever been in a trailer and they had those sliding doors with the little metal latch, I mean, a baby could smash through this thing. I
If you
mean,
just wanted to keep your parents out your room while you were trying to get some ass and you had the little latch.
so it takes her forever to break through. And this is when we thought, oh my God, this movie's awesome. The thing that she sees when she goes in the room is blood everywhere, and her sister is in the tub with her throat slashed. And I was like, oh my God, they actually killed a little girl. Holy crap. I was so shocked. But then the dad comes
and they're not there. She's not
and
there.
she's not there. Nothing's there.
You
So now
fell
she's
for it,
the-
Marissa.
And I fell for it. I fell for it. God damn it. So now the dad and the older girl goes looking for the younger girl, and they start running around the junkyard again, following what they think is the daughter, but obviously it's not because she's like playing, come get me, daddy, come get me, daddy. So they go back to the shipping container, which the
That's
older
just
daughter's
the
like,
outside noise. You just
sorry
gotta
about
accept
that.
it.
Some
Yeah.
assholes outside are playing fucking motorbikes.
It's summertime, baby.
so so the older daughter's like, I'm not going in there. Fuck that shit. And my inclination is like, all right, bitch, so hold open the door. You know that shit shuts on automatic.
Yeah.
So the dad goes in there, and now it's a shipping container. You don't need to go in. You just shine your light in there. You see the end of the shipping container. If there's nothing in there, there's nothing in there. This dumbass walks in.
All the way in.
All the way in. So of course he's seeing the wife hallucination again, and it's feeling him up and being all lovey-dovey. And then the
after you fucking suck, you ruined my like. How do you go from that to come here, baby?
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah, so he gets sucked into that bullshit while the older daughter is being chased by these little demon children around the whole
About to
garage.
get molested by little demon
And she's
kids.
holding
That's
this
even worse
bottle.
than anything
Now
I
there's this
thought.
bottle, like this wine bottle that we keep seeing throughout like the whole movie. And at first I thought because the dad was alcoholic, so he has this like wine bottle that he's like, you know, been holding on to. And then I thought, okay, well, maybe it's not that. Maybe it's like, you know, the last bit of like the wife's favorite wine or something.
I
But
kept
no.
her last sip.
So apparently, shut up. So apparently,
Yes.
so apparently she gets chased around. The dad somehow gets like out of this trance of like being there with his wife again. He runs out of the trailer, finds his daughter. The daughter hands him the wine bottle, and they dump what we now know is the mom's ashes out of the wine bottle. I don't know how this is significant because then all the little demon
Her
children.
mom was an
poof,
alcoholic
it's
cancer patient
here.
that couldn't let go of that type of wine, aka Moscato.
No, it was in the wine bottle
And-
because they didn't like the urns because they were all ugly. So they decided to put it in a pretty wine bottle, which
Because
is so
that
fucking
represented
disturbing.
mom. That represented mom.
She was an alcoholic cancer patient.
You
like
never been
said.
at a funeral and like people be like, yo, I'm gonna put this Henny bottle in this nigga's fucking casket, and you looking like you do know this thing about to drop 6 feet under the ground.
And that Henny bottle is
But a Henny bottle, yeah, just there. But it's like, nah, but that's his
Yeah,
drink,
but
nah,
the
me.
funeral home, the,
Nah, you know, like
the funeral home director is like, mine.
Mm.
most likely. I
Yeah.
never really, I don't go that far because I don't really do that shit. But
I wonder how much
I'll tell you a
jewelry they
story.
steal.
I'll tell you a story about that too.
Yeah.
They must
after this
steal a
shit.
lot of, because you know how many people get buried with their jewelry?
there's
lot.
yeah, there's a lot of weird shit to that. Yeah.
Anyway, so just to wrap up, and then we could go on our tangent. To wrap up, he pours the ashes out. All the demon babies go away. The little girl's actually in the shipping container crying in the corner that she saw mommy, blah, blah, blah. And they all go home because magically the truck's repaired. I don't know. Apparently. And
The truck was never damaged. It's all an illusion. It was all a mind fuck.
so it was good for, I would say, 10 minutes
Yeah.
out of the hour and a half of the movie.
I would say it was good for 1 minute when he hit the kid with the fucking
That
shovel.
part was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part.
But yeah, so the whole concept of the movie is that they're trying to let her go. So like bury the ashes, like stop, you know, because they had the little flashback of her saying like,
Mm.
"Don't worry about me" when
Yeah.
she was on the deathbed. But they were obviously worrying about her, and they're all freaking out about her death. So
So it was a grieving movie.
apparently,
It was a
she
grieving
told
movie.
Grieving
And
movie.
it
she
says,
told the
and if you
demons.
don't grieve properly, the demons will come and
Yeah,
get you.
exactly.
All right, yeah. It's almost like the Drew movie. I mean,
What?
the Jewish movie.
We both
my-
look at you like, what? We're not even Jewish. Like we got offended.
I know he said Drew. I was like, what do you mean, like?
I have my own movie.
Yeah,
No, the Jewish movie with the
Let it
guy
go.
watching.
yeah, the
yeah.
vigil.
Vigil, yeah.
But yeah, so that was basic concept. It wasn't that great. It really took an hour. Like it was 48 minutes. So I looked at the time until something actually like quote
Happy,
unquote happened.
happy. Yeah.
So yeah, slow burn.
Listen,
Slow burn. But I do have to appreciate whoever made whoever
The
made
mask.
the prosthetic for
Yeah,
the
for the
face
mask. Yeah.
did a wonderful job.
give me the-
I have to
give me
know
the
that.
fucking the ox shit so I can do the applause. Cause fuck that nigga. Cause that's how I feel about that shit.
What?
Cause honestly, who cares about the mask? The mask, all right, it was
No.
decent. Da da da.
Sorry, the aux is going to my headphones.
I should have bought my own shit. But basically not. The movie was trash. The movie was bad, disappointing. That trailer was convincing. I thought it was gonna be a cool little thing to it. The plot
Yeah.
twist should have not been ashes.
Because the trailer made it look like it was like Strangers /
Yeah.
Hills Have
Yeah.
Eyes.
Yeah.
I would have rather had people just killing them just to kill them than to
Yeah.
have, oh, I let the demons on.
No,
Yeah, nobody
I-
even got hurt.
I agree with you,
Right.
but instead of because it reminded me too much of Hills Have Eyes. If it was like little kid vampires, that would have got me better.
Yeah.
Like, yo,
It should have
Let
been
me
Little
in.
Kid Vampires would have been dope. Then
Yeah.
even a sequel should have
Yeah.
been fire.
Like,
and then they
that-
could have bring him to like the
Could've
master
been fire.
vampire because there's
Could've been
always a
fire.
master
yeah,
vampire.
because like I don't think really the whole movie, there's no. It wasn't like he was an alcoholic and grieving, and the youngest one was constantly crying, and the older teenager was rebelling super hard. It was like it's a regular family, like kind of grieving that their mother passed, like anyone would. So demons are coming after him now because they're kind of sad.
Yeah.
Like they didn't show anything in the movie. Like they
it
were like,
didn't
Yeah,
ex-
it
He was an
didn't
abusive
explain.
father.
It didn't.
It seems very what do you call that? Lukewarm.
yeah,
No, but that's the thing. That's the issue with a lot of these movies, and that's where we could get into the whole concept of just all of these shows together.
Yeah.
It's a very lackadaisical aspect to things. Like they don't really put the effort into
Mhm.
telling story.
Yeah.
no,
They just go into like, this is the simple concept of, oh, this is trauma. Now this happened, so now this is why. From the trauma, they connected to a demon or a
Yeah.
monster or some type
Yeah.
of thing, and then from there, now it kills it kills everybody else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But it
It's
didn't
so
even kill
simple.
anybody.
It's
like
It
there
is.
was no
no,
threat.
it didn't kill nobody, but
There
they
was no
technically
threat.
did because they killed the people that were in the RV. Because
Oh,
those people
made
didn't
them-
let go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Those
yeah,
people
yeah.
decided to hold on and went crazy and killed themselves.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
That's how you gotta
but I
look at
agree with you're saying because it's kind of like, what is the significance of being in a desert and finding a random guy? Like
Mhm.
you don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
his actual story, but obviously if the
No, but
demons
they
went
pieced
after
it
them,
together because it was like the drawings of the family.
No, they had all of that, but the
Yeah.
thing was, it was just like you don't start the movie the way this movie started. You don't start it with the little girl crying and then like you hear the bang or whatever, and then the mom apparently died. So what? Did she just fucking had like her brain aneurysm and just fucking fell
I
on the
think the
floor and
bang
died?
was no. I think the
Was
bang was the daughter
the
slamming the door.
glass.
Okay, so
but
it
like-
was some aspect of something there. Like, yeah, I probably could have missed it. Fuck you.
You
if
did.
You see it. But like I'm just saying, like it just had like it's attention to certain details
Details,
that
yeah.
doesn't Like there's no
Yeah.
connection. Like that's why like that movie that we watched with the white boys that were killing people with the golf.
Oh yeah, the
Shit.
funny
Yes.
games.
There was
Funny
like there was no reason for there to be understand.
Behavior.
They were just
Yeah.
doing, and it's
Yeah.
like there's certain times you gotta get away with it, and it's cool.
Yeah,
But when you watch so many movies, like I've literally been watching these movies, and I've just been like,
garbage.
this
garbage,
is why I
garbage.
don't watch fucking random horror movies.
Yeah, but the thing is, the reason why I do is because you do find a gem every once in a. It's
Listen,
very
your
rare,
Gems are harder to find, honestly.
but that's why
We
they're
could
called
do
gems.
Random
nigga.
comedies.
Is rare.
But no,
it's a
but the
gem.
thing is, you could do random comedies as much as we did random
that's
horror,
hard.
and I guarantee you, we'll find a gem faster than we'll find
That's
a fucking
harder.
horror movie.
That's harder.
I guarantee you.
But that depends
It's
on
not
your frame of
harder,
mind.
but it's hard.
It depends on your frame of mind when you're
Mm.
watching the comedy.
Which is true. No, but that's
It
the
really
issue.
does.
But that's the thing with comedy.
Maybe we could start
hits
another
you-
one in search of
It
comedy.
hits you with different. It hits you with
Yeah,
different
because
pockets.
the last comedy that I tried to watch, I couldn't even
Yeah.
fucking watch it.
No, but the thing is the pockets that it hit you with. So, like you
Yeah.
said, the aspects. So it depends on what the humor is supposed to be.
Yeah,
Horror movies so far as we ran through no original or nothing
Yeah.
fresh or nothing like
I
But-
agree. Yeah,
processed fresh. Like
But think
fuck it
about
if it's the same concept,
Yeah.
but make the thought
Thought-
process to
yeah.
get there fresh.
fresh.
but even
But like,
Yeah.
for example, this is what, because today we were gonna watch another horror movie, but we couldn't find it.
we'll get it.
We'll get it eventually. but
Eventually.
we couldn't find it. We couldn't find
I'm not
it
gonna tell
today.
you how, but
It'll be
we'll
next
get
week
it.
or
Yeah.
this weekend, some shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were kind of stuck with like, oh shit, what are we gonna watch?
Yeah,
And searching for these horror movies, reading the descriptions, it's either a haunted house, some child is possessed by some shit.
I love how I came in as a heel to start all of this shit.
You're
Mm.
always the heel. What are you talking
Uh.
about? So then, either that or it's some random slasher bullshit.
but all the slashers now are slasher comedies.
Yeah.
Like there's no
and-
horror
but
slasher
see,
anymore.
It's
Yeah.
slasher comedy, but it's not like fucking what was it? Scream. They up to 6
But
now?
that was purposefully funny. That was meant.
It
to
wasn't
be funny.
meant to be funny.
Yes,
it
it
was
was.
meant
The
to be.
first one was good.
Yes, exactly.
They had funny moments, but I think the,
the
first
second
one
But it was
movie
never
was
meant to be
good, but
scary.
then once it got to like the
That's like Freddy
the
versus
reveal-
Jesus.
No,
It's
no.
not meant to be scary.
No. Scream was not to be meant to be scary. That was this. I think the
It's a
start of
psychological
it was
No.
that summer thriller
For teens,
slasher.
for
It was
teens,
it was
yeah,
a mystery
It was
thriller.
to bring back the teen slashers.
Yeah,
yes,
but
yes.
it also had the mystery
Because
aspect
then
to
you
it.
had,
Like
like,
who
the,
did it? It was the who did it
Yeah.
shit.
Then
No,
you
but
had, I know
that's
what
the
you
whole
did
shit.
last summer.
Like the whole
and all that
reason
shit.
why you would get scared. Like I know what you did last summer. Technically, would never be a mind for like everybody that grew up within that. You know that it was a letter. No, the reason why Scream, as we go into our horror movie tangents, is the fact that Scream, when you remember watching it, is Drew Barrymore answering that phone. You remember,
Yes.
and any horror movie buff, like y'all more horror than me,
Yeah,
but you're there and you're answering the questions.
yeah.
That was the mind fuck.
And
Oh,
That was the
okay.
game.
it
That
bring
was
up
the game. of it.
everything. Like
Yeah.
that one guy, I forgot. I think Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah.
His character
And
bring up all the rules.
He kept it fresh for 3 movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the whole
he
shit.
he
like,
bring
yeah,
up all the
he
rules
kept it
that you
going.
don't do. Like that movie was. That's why I consider that like a masterpiece
Mhm.
in a way, because it was Carpenter who did it. And on top of that, it was just like you had all the cliches, which was making fun of, because even the
Everything that
janitor
we
looked
talk
like
about. Yeah,
The
everything
janitor,
we talk about is
it
in
was
Yeah.
it was Carpenter, but he looked like Freddy Krueger.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it was just like, okay, you do all the cliche shit, but also it was a mystery thriller where it was just kind of like, who the fuck is doing it?
Yeah.
And unlike I Know What You Did Last Summer, you knew it was a guy that you fucking hit, obviously.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But in this one, you're just like, who's really doing it? And you think it's a
that's what
boyfriend,
made
but then
the
he goes to
Scream
jail. Then the
movies
thing.
good. Yeah.
So then you just figure out it's 2 guys, and it's like, oh shit.
That makes
Honestly,
sense now.
that was the whole shit. Like, honestly, when I watched those Scream movies, I remember. I think I went to go watch 4 or 5 in the movie theater, and I'm watching, and I was just like, oh, the double twist, because
Yeah,
they did it. I think it was like the niece or whatever, like her cousin.
yeah,
that-
yeah.
Mhm.
and I was like, oh shit, like that's why I fuck with those movies. Like, I'm not sitting there to watch it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
bad.
it's
But
not
that's
scary.
fine.
It's not
scared.
scary.
I just
yeah.
want a good story that gives me
Mhm.
like that, where I'm sitting there like, oh, I know it's you, and it'd be like,
But it's
oh,
a
fuck, I
different,
was wrong.
but it's a different
Yeah.
genre. It's kind of
Yeah.
like Seven's not like, oh my god, it's scary,
Yeah.
but it's a thriller.
Yeah.
But then you do watch something like Strangers, which is kind of fucking like
Gory or
gory, creepy though,
Like,
because the thing
yeah.
about
But I don't see
It's all
gore.
about the
That movie
feeling.
doesn't have gore. It
no,
has
no,
the
it's more
end.
like
Yes,
the-
it's
it's
more
the
psychological.
mind.
psychological, yeah.
But that movie,
Psychological
yes,
thriller, yeah.
yes.
that movie I liked a lot because it was like, yo, there was almost, I'm gonna say almost, I haven't watched that movie in a while, but almost no bad decisions in that movie, and they made it good. Like,
The worst decision out of that whole movie, and technically you can say it's not, but it's the worst, is because he's panicked and he shot his man.
no, see,
Him
I think
shooting
that was the
his
best
man
thing.
was ODing.
No, because I like, this is the reason why I like watching movies. If I could think like that's what I would do, like think about you're in a situation, these motherfuckers, they're everywhere. You're like, what the fuck's going on?
You don't
the
panic
first
shot. You
thing-
can't panic shot.
So you're gonna sit there and wait for him to come in the
You
room and be
need
like
to
booga
see-
booga booga?
yes, yes,
No.
Yes.
Bam, first shot,
Because
dead.
booga
Sorry.
booga
that's
booga
what
still
hap-
gives you
no,
enough time.
But you never
No,
know
but
if it
that's-
was your friend.
Yeah, but
I
You
have-
never
but-
know
I
if it
have
was
to
your
do what I
friend.
have to do.
No, but
But what
that's
if your friend was the
happens-
killer?
No, but that's what happens a lot. Of,
What?
No, wait, sorry. I'm not trying to cut you off, Marissa.
Like, I'm not,
But I'm not trying to cut you off.
That shit threw me off. Wait, what?
Okay.
What if your friend was actually
What-
one
what
of
if-
the people in the band?
What if your friend was actually the killer? He just took off his mask. You don't know that.
Which is honest. You know what? That's a good question.
So there you
I'll
go.
give you that. 'Cause
So you
actually
never
got
knew.
me now in a corner where I will have to agree with you.
So
I'm proud of
exactly.
you. I'm so happy.
So there
Holy
you go.
shit. This 2 weeks off got you awake. Holy shit. Because I'm like, fucking God, you actually hit me with a good question.
Because you got to think about it
Yeah.
now. Okay, who's the one who knows where I am? Oh, my friend's here. Bam, motherfucker, you're the one in the suit. I see the guy with a mask in the suit. You look like you had the same suit on.
Nah, it's a fact.
But-
Nah, it's a
but-
fact.
I agree with you in a certain part when he found out, like, oh my God, that's not the killer because the
Yeah.
guy's still there.
Now you there, like you,
Like,
now you
oh, I
run
shot
down.
my best friend.
Like fuck, it
Damn
was 3 against 2. It could have been 3 against 2.
But no, I agree with you. But that's why I love that movie because mainly that scene got me. But I felt like every decision they made was pretty decent.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah,
So let me ask you. Let
Yes.
me ask you a question then. What would be a refreshing theme for you?
All right,
as
this is
far
where I
as
tap
horror
out for a second.
to see in a horror movie now.
Yeah, because we've seen a lot.
See, the thing is, I feel like everything's been done, but to do something like I always say this. I said this in another podcast before. It's funny how you just walked out. Like I felt like if we were that popular and it was like a Joe Budden, like he just
Like,
walked
motherfucker,
out.
where you going?
All the fans would be like, he just walked away. He hates this podcast.
He did say.
Yeah, I heard you.
I thought you were
Yeah.
gonna go on a pee break.
But to me, it's just kind of like the scariest thing you could do in movies is make the characters and I know that everyone says then it wouldn't be a horror movie, but if you make it smart decisions, at least for most of the movie, and then you could do a great slasher that's scary because you could do something that's like popping out or something like that with slashers. You could do like the fucking what I forgot what that kind of
Jump
scare is,
scares.
the jump scares. But then again, it's kind of like a lot of people now are into paranormal scares because you could do anything. So like think about Insidious. Like, well,
it's one of the things that
if you're gonna talk, you're gonna get on mic. You're not
Yeah.
gonna talk over. No, you're not. You know I can hear you because it's on the mic. So anyway, shut your mouth. You decided to go away. But like think about Sinister.
It's so wrong.
If you think about Sinister, the
Yeah.
reason why that was so scary, and they didn't have a lot of pop-up scares in that one. They had like one really pop-up scare in the first movie, but the concept was original with the sleeping and shit. And then on top of that, you had different things like I guess you could call it a pop-up scare, but I didn't get scared from it. But I know a lot of people like that scene is when they're in the daylight and the mother, the father, and the wife is having a discussion, and then the red faces in the background,
Yeah.
and it's just there. Like it's not like booga booga. It's just
Yeah.
like it's just right there. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah. You're
And-
talking about in
And then even when the lady goes outside, dumps the
that's not
trash.
Sinister. That's
No, that's Insidious.
Insidious. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
and
it's
then
the,
and then
it's
you
the
hear the
during the day.
tiptoe
Yeah.
through the window,
Yeah.
and she looks in, and then it's creepy because you see the little kid dancing creepy and then he just runs away. That wasn't a pop-up scare. It was
Right,
just
it's
creepy, like,
creepy.
ooh, like
Because
it was
it's
a
like,
guttural feeling.
You know why? Because most things you expect to happen at night in the darkness,
And then when things, but I'm
but
saying,
when things happen in the broad daylight,
Mhm.
it's terrifying because it's just like,
It's harder to believe.
get over here if you're gonna be in this.
but
I'm back.
no, it's no, yeah, it's like he was trying to say off
He
my.
wanted to touch his phone so bad.
I know, and he was just like, Mercy's gonna hit me. But no, but
I
it
gotta
is
sound soft.
it is
God
true
damn it.
though. It is
But
because
nah,
it's
it's literally it's what's popular. Like we went into the last 10 years and we dealt with paranormal activity was kind of like the jump off point.
Mm,
So we really do look for paranormal aspects. Like we lost the thought process of a monster.
yeah.
There is no such thing
Well,
as
and
monsters.
also because it's the technology to make it look good is not there because they want to do CGI and CGI always looks terrible.
yeah,
And that's
It
doesn't-
just
another
always
reason,
looks
yes.
terrible. The best monsters to me are when either they were in a costume or they were animatronic because they had some level of like a real thing. Although sometimes they moved kind of funny or like
Yeah.
whatever,
Mhm.
but at least it looked like something.
Nah,
Tangible.
but
It looked
that-
like something tangible.
But that's
Yeah.
the issue with the shit. Like when we dealt with monsters
Like the
back then,
penis
we
monster
dealt
that we
with.
saw at the. At
I don't
that
know
one
nothing
movie.
about a penis monster.
Yes, you do remember the penis
The
monster.
last movie
in
that
the
we
last
did.
Movie that we did.
Remember, it
remember?
looked like an
It died?
uncircumcised penis that was like coming on something and then sucking it back up.
All right, I do know
The
something about
docking monster.
I know something about a penis
Officially,
monster.
the official title is the docking monster.
But
That is a
but
true
the
horror
shit is
movie.
like back when they did those type of horror movies, it was actual people.
yeah.
Now we're lazy and we're like, yo, we're gonna green screen you, and we're gonna do this, that, and the
Yeah.
third, and
I think what we're
it's whatever.
I think we're missing a good like monster movie and a good like
I want a good slasher.
no, I feel like you know what it is? I want like the good like who done it type of mystery
That's
thriller
not
thing.
that's not a horror movie then.
No,
You
no,
want a
no.
mystery
It's a
thriller.
thriller.
If it's like a
Yeah.
serial killer type of thing, I love those because it's
Go ahead. No, I'm listening to you. I just heard.
It's somebody telling him that I'm not supposed to be smoking ice cream.
so it's legal here. It's legal here. Um, but what I'm saying is like I'd rather the psychological
I'm
portion
right.
of it.
That's why he's laughing.
No, because he's getting more messages. I felt like all three of her phones went off.
No, I just feel like I want more of the psychological thriller thing. I want to be put in the place of that person that's in that room. I want to be put in that place where I can relate to that person and be fucking terrified. I don't want to look at the screen and go, this bitch is stupid.
Yes.
Or this asshole, he just had a knife and he threw it. Or he, like,
Yeah.
I don't want that. I want something that's going to put me into it till I feel like it's happening to me. Or it
It's
could happen
very
to
hard
me.
because there's no actors out there that want to do that. I feel like actors don't even want to do horror movies. They just want to do
Because they
what's
get
the
a bad rap.
popular- Like no, but the thing they got a bad rap is like Emily Blunt, I think her name is.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
didn't want to do a
She was
superhero
like
movie.
she wasn't sure, she didn't want to do Scarlet Witch, but now everybody's hyping her to be Mrs. Fantastic, and it's like she might not want to do horror movies. She said it in the interview. She was like, I don't feel like that's her pocket. She was like, I don't feel like that's my pocket.
Yeah, the superhero
Like, where
movies.
I
you
would
mean.
be, yeah. And
Yeah.
it's like
Oh,
that's the
okay, I
issue
got
with
confused.
it.
'cause
Yeah, no,
Emily
he said
Blunt
horror
is in
movies,
the-
but he meant
Emily
superhero.
Emily Blunt is in The Quiet Place, so that's why I got
No,
confused.
he
Yeah.
said horror movies. He meant superhero movies because
Yes.
everyone wants her to be, because they want her husband to be Mr. Fantastic and her to
Yes.
be Sue Storm.
Yes, because
Yeah.
it would be perfect.
Yeah, but
you know,
she doesn't want to do it,
yeah,
and
'cause
he's willing to do it. He's like, yes.
he wants because who's the one that plays Shazam?
Oh,
know.
that stupid guy. Yeah, I don't know his
But
name.
him and
It's
and
somebody
her
that you
husband
mentioned.
look exactly the same. I cannot tell them apart.
Oh, I can. Yeah, that's Jim from The Office, man.
There's one is Jim from The
Oh,
Office.
you talking about? Wow, that's horrible.
She's saying that Shazam
no,
looks
I
like Jim
know,
from
and
The
I'm like,
Office.
that is they so look different.
They both look like Angelo's brother, and they
I've
both
never
look
seen
the
his
same.
brother, so I can't.
You've
say.
never seen John. You've seen
No.
I
John.
probably have, but I don't pay attention.
I don't think John went to the beach.
No, he's been at my
No, but
house.
he's been
though.
to the house probably. Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
about to
there's
say.
been plenty of times that John's been at the house.
But anyway, so you want a psychological thriller? What would you want?
But what I want,
In
You
a
said
I
horror.
want a slasher. I want people running and then like the 80s
Do you
where
want the
boobs are
gore?
out. And they
Oh,
run
that's
it.
what he wants. He wants tits and
He
ass.
just
That's what he
wants
wants.
TNA
And I
movie.
was like,
But wait,
why she's in those silk
but
underwear
wait,
running for no
would you be open to, because everybody's woke now, because
Yeah.
you have to
I'm
have as
opposite of
much
that, obviously.
you need as much TNA as you need DNA in movies.
What?
Would you be
I know what you mean. And that's why I was like,
That is a brand new term.
I'm,
I
I'm
just
waiting
heard
to
for the
see where
first
this
time.
question is really going.
But would you be able to accept as much
No.
No.
Because it shouldn't be.
sex as fuck?
Because there's no man that should be butt ass naked, scared of a nigga with a
No,
knife.
but I could just
Actually, that's
no,
terrifying.
That is terrifying 'cause I
First of
could-
all,
no,
wait.
No, I want to
That's
say this.
fucking
Wait, I wanna
terrifying.
say this. I
you
could
gotta,
just picture
you gotta hit him
seeing
with the Samoan shit, like, ah.
No, I could just see somebody taking a shit, right? With their pants down on their ankle, and
Yeah.
something comes in to attack them, and they're running full-fledged, butt-ass naked with their dick just.
All right, Marissa, I got to tell you this. This is why. This is why. Marissa, that would be a horror comedy because I don't think in any of the slasher movies a girl was just taking a shit and you just see shit flying out her ass while her boobs are moving. Like no guy would have ever been like.
said anything about shit
But
coming out.
we're talking about like sexual
Oh,
shit.
this is hilarious. Like, no
She was just
lie.
like, I wouldn't mind a
'Cause
guy taking a shit.
Nick definitely took it somewhere else. Because I heard what she said. But what Nick saying, it definitely did go left. Because it was like, yo, my nigga, nobody said nothing about that.
Well, she said that. She said, what if a
She
guy.
was taking his shit. If you're taking it, nobody
like
said
that's
running
your most
as you're
vulnerable.
taking his shit.
Yeah.
But if you're taking a shit and somebody's running at you about to kill you,
Nah, you gonna stop. You gonna stop. You gonna have the
No,
two
your
butt
asshole
cheeks
puckles
clamped.
like
Like,
this.
yeah, exactly. Trust me, your whole body's gonna be nope. And you gonna,
You're gonna tense up.
Oh, Lord.
I'll shoot a gun while you're taking a shit. With
Oh.
You're gonna be like, oh shit.
Oh,
But
that's hilarious.
That's horrible.
I am successful. I made somebody in this podcast uncomfortable. I love it.
that was fucking hilarious. But nah,
Oh.
like I can't.
Okay,
I
I
might
think
be a
we're
little
done.
too hot. I might be a little too hot. But
Oh.
I'm definitely not done. I'm ready to go again. But we might have to take a pause.
Yeah. Well, this will be the In Search of Horror
Okay,
section.
we have to rate it. We haven't rated it.
We have to-
4.
we have to- we have-
All right,
we
he
have to-
says 4. What do you say?
Judgment.
Judgment time.
I feel like Judge Dredd. I wish I had
So
the
4 out of
soundbite.
5.
Judge.
4 out of 5. Yeah, we're going to 10, I thought.
Oh, okay.
So
So 4 out
4.
of 10.
You were like, nah, I'll give it like a 5. Yeah.
Yeah,
It didn't impress me towards the end. Like I like
Yeah.
when the movie grabs me at the end.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I give it a 4.5. I think a 4.5 is fair. In the middle.
So that movie sucked.
Just fast forward to just watching the creepy scenes,
Yeah,
like
48
45 minutes
minutes.
in. Just fast forward to 45
Halfway through the
minutes in.
movie. It's
And then
literally
watch the
watching a
rest of the
TV.
movie.
It's like watching a TV show. If you could watch the Bad Batch, the first episode of that, or anything that's the first episode of an
Bad
hour,
Batch was good. What are you talking
it was great.
about?
But I'm just saying, like, if you could sit through an hour of anything, you could sit through an hour through this.
Yes, that's true.
Yes.
That's true. Okay.
So yeah. So
Thank you guys.
thank you for watching us. Like, subscribe, follow,
Give us
YouTube,
suggestions, please. We need
Twitter.
them.
Are you even still
desperately.
on Twitter?
I'm on everything. I'm not on Twitter
He's
right
not?
now because
Oh.
I have a lot of fucking other shit going on in my life.
Are you
I'm-
in Twitter jail? Are you in Twitter jail?
I'm on mental fucking relaxation jail.
Okay.
Whereas like I'm either gonna snap and I'm really about to let everybody know what's up, or I'm just gonna do what I do and I'm gonna be quiet and relax. Because I don't want to yell at you because you live in your mom's basement. All right.
All right. So
That's it.
follow, like, subscribe, Facebook, YouTube. Definitely our YouTube. We got Spotify, we got Anchor, we got SoundCloud, we got
We
all
got
of it.
all that shit.
So
And I'm
follow
still
us.
here talking shit. I still watch. I'm watching NXT right now. All right.
So
All
we
right.
have to take his phones away.
We got
Yeah.
some WWE talk that we gotta do. We got a lot of shit that we gotta get into.
You gotta catch up. You gotta
Yes.
catch up.
Yes.
All right. Thank
Been
you guys.
busy month. Peace out.
We got Marissa, great.
Yay.
This is that, and that's her fucking brother. That's the fucked up shit.